What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, a.k.a. B Jizzle. For Get Started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe all of our YouTube videos by hitting that notification bell, by the subscribe button as well. If you'd like to donate to the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast, you can do so by going to our Cash App, $ BJ Matthews, again, $ BJ Matthews. Or what you can do, you can go on our line where it says like, dislike, share. On that same line where it says thanks, you can hit that button and you can go ahead and donate that way. But let's get it popping. All right, man, another great show for y'all, man. Basically, the Lakers are 0-4. They fall 0-4 to the Denver Nuggets last night at a score 99-110. I'm watching the game. I'm just looking at the Lakers right now, that they are a team that's not really, they're badly put together. Let's put it like that. Russell Westbrook did not play last night, so everybody basically said that Russell Westbrook could not be blamed for this loss, which I totally agree. I think the Lakers have a number of things, a number of problems, from their outside shooting, from their balanced offense, leadership, just a number of things. Their defense is fine, but they can't score now. Last year, the problem was they could score, but they couldn't play D. They traded away Carmelo Anthony and Malik Monk. They let Carmelo Anthony go, and they let Malik Monk go to the Sacramento Kings. And here we are. And obviously, when you look at this roster, you obviously say to yourself, to Rob Pelinka, he did a bad job putting Patrick Beverley, Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, and Dennis Schroeder, who are all under 6'4" as point guards, who are not great shooters. Patrick Beverley is somewhat of an okay shooter. Kendrick Nunn is an okay shooter, but they've been off. I think it's more so mentally than physically with Kendrick Nunn. And it's just been 4 games, and it's already panic button for the Laker fan base. Now, here's the thing. The Lakers, at the rate they're going right now, they went from saying could they be at least a 40-50 win team, to now them making to the playoffs, to now if they can make it to play-in, or they won't even make the play-in at all. That's the steps that's going as far as quick as it's gone so far with the Lakers. Now, here's the thing. I was looking at my phone this morning. I look at my notes, like I do every morning, highlights, games, all that stuff to get prepared for the day. And I came across something. I'm like, let me see if I can help the Lakers out, because obviously they need some help. Jeannie Buss needs help. Rob Pelinka needs help. Kurt Rambis, that team needs help. And Lakers are not even my team, but I just love the game of basketball so much. I'm a basketball head junkie, and I do the podcast. What I do for y'all, man, is I always look for ways to, just find solutions, right? So I looked at the Lakers situation. I found out what they're missing. I asked my friend, one of my friends who's a Laker fan, I said, bro, do you feel like LeBron's still a top 10 player in the league? And he said, yes, he thinks he's top 7. Okay. Well, so obviously you're building the team around LeBron versus AD. And I said basically they need to build a team around Anthony Davis. That's my opinion, what they should do. But it's obvious that Anthony Davis is not that same person in the bubble. It's obvious that LeBron James has somewhat of a pushback from giving the team to Anthony Davis, because he's taking more of the shots and they're not really playing through AD. So if you still feel like LeBron's a top 10 player, you have to get off of Anthony Davis. You got to get off Anthony Davis. You got to get off Russell Westbrook. About last year, people thought that would be crazy. You still have people today think that getting rid of Anthony Davis would be crazy, which I don't see how it's crazy when he's injury prone, when the last couple of seasons you've been giving him, you've been given the opportunity to try to, right your wrongs, and you still keep coming up short. There was a play yesterday where he got pushed in the back by Nikola Jokic, not even hard, and he fell to the ground. So I think a lot of times with these players, man, their training regimen is not what it needs to be. If you look at the 80s and 90s and even the early 2000s, these players were not getting hurt like these players are now. And they had less technology and less access to more weight. So you should not be getting hurt with this technology out right now. That just shows you that the players back then were actually lifting real weights. We're actually working on their body to be stronger. And these guys are doing a lot of bands and aerobics and stuff, not really getting stronger. That's why they keep getting hurt. So I feel like being injury prone can be worked on. So I said, with that being said, there's a player who I feel like is the answer to the Lakers. If you think LeBron's a top 10 player, you want to still make him build around him. Now, of course, I disagree, but I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together. People say LeBron needs shooters. LeBron doesn't really technically need shooters. What he needs is a killer. He needs somebody that's going to come into the clutch. He needs somebody that's going to take those shots at the end. He needs that somebody that's going to give him consistent offense. That's what he had with Kyrie Irving in Cleveland. That's what he had with Anthony Davis with the Lakers in that year in the bubble. He had a sidekick or a person beside him who was a killer. We've seen LeBron. He's not a consistent killer. That's just not who he is. He's always been a guy who's tried to find a balance from actually taking over and actually getting his teammates involved. That's how LeBron's always been. So when people yell out shooters, 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 that's not necessarily true. LeBron needs a killer. He needs somebody beside him who's going to, take that load off of him, right? Now, with that being said, if you're talking about in this situation with the Lakers now, all the killers, you're going to have to give up something which a lot of the Lakers really just don't have, right? Unless they get off, all three of their guys. But there are some killers in the league that are under the radar who are on bad teams who do not have the cachet or the value that, a Damian Lillard, a Trae Young or a John Morant, like guys who are untouchable, have. So with that being said, there's a few guys in the league. And one of the guys I think, based off of his playing style, based off of his makeup, and just what he's built with, I think the Lakers need to go out for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think the Lakers need to make a call to OKC and try to go after Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that what needs to happen is they need to trade Russ, those 2 picks, and if they gotta get rid of AD for this kid, I say give AD to Oklahoma City as well. Because what you're looking at with the Lakers is if you don't make a move now, LeBron's about to turn 38 years old. Anthony Davis is injury prone as he is. Russell Westbrook doesn't fit with this team. You're going to be in a position where the Lakers are going to be bad for the next 4 to 5 seasons. To keep that from happening, because they're not going to win a championship, but to at least make them respectable in the Lakers, because they're not respectable right now, you got to get somebody in there who can automatically give you instant offense and make and to bring some type of life to your organization. I think SGA is that type of player. 6'6", 24 years old, can score, shoot. He's a gamer. He has a killer mentality. I think that SGA is made with the right stuff. I would put 80 on the table, Russ on the table, and them 2 picks, and try to see if I can get SGA to the Lakers. Now, people may say, okay, why would OKC do that? Here's the thing. OKC, yes, they have a lot of youth. They have a young, talented team, right? But then I have to ask, what is your goal for OKC to do? Because if you're talking about just youth and talent, well, shit, Phoenix, Dallas, Minnesota, Memphis, all those guys have stars who are 20 in their early 20s to their mid 20s who are just like, or better than SGA. So that's what you're going to have to deal with year after year for the next 5 to 10 seasons if you're OKC. Chet Holmgren, we've seen he can be injury prone. Josh Giddey, he's a good player. Dortz is a good defender. But again, OKC, if you're looking for them just to be a somewhat of a playoff team, a couple 2-3 seasons, and I've got New Orleans as well, 2 to 3 seasons. Okay, that's one thing. But if you're looking for them to compete for a title, that's going to be extremely hard. If SGA is your best player, I don't think he's going to lead you to a championship. That's just me. He's going to need a sidekick or a person who has some type of value to help put him over the hump. I think Anthony Davis will be able to put OKC over the hump. I think that's who they're missing. They're missing a guy who's, in their prime, who's in their late 20s or early in their prime in their late 20s. Because yes, it's good to be young, but if you're like to the point where you're young like a college team, you have no championship pedigree. You have no championship DNA in that team. You're just building, and you're going to be continuously building for 5, 10, or X amount of years, and you're not going to ever get over the hump, especially with the competition you're going up against. Because these teams like Minnesota, yes, they're young, but they have a Karl-Anthony Towns and a Rudy Gobert who has championship experience. Memphis has John Morant. I don't think Memphis is going to win a championship until they get another well-known player. Dallas, yes, they got Luka Doncic, but they got also veteran pieces, JaVale McGee. They got Jason Kidd as their coach. They got Tim Hardaway. They got guys in that team with some type of playoff championship pedigree. They're going to be dangerous. Phoenix, of course, you got Devin Booker there, and then you got that team. They're well-oiled, man. So, yes, it's good to be young if you're OKC, but you can't be young to the point where you have no championship pedigree. you're not going to be able to get over the hump against these other teams who have a mixture of young talent with championship DNA. So I think it would be a good fit for both teams, for OKC and the Lakers, if they made this trade. Now, again, OKC may say, like, no, we not doing it. What you think? You crazy. But then they might say, you know what? AD is 29. We do have a nice little young team. Russell Westbrook, and nothing about Russ, man. I don't think he's as bad as being advertised, but that just goes to show you how much your value can go low in one season. He's a bad fit for the Lakers, but if you take Russ and put him with a team that actually can fit his playing style, like an OKC that gets up and runs and guns, he will look at totally different. You got to remember with the Washington Wizards, he took that team when Bradley Beal went out and took him to the playoffs as the 8th seed. So we've seen Russ been able to carry a team. So don't sit up here and tell me that SGA is so much better than Russ. Russ would still be a better player than SGA. Now, Russ is older, but that's why you have AD there. And that's why you have to get him, you have to get Anthony Davis on some type of training regimen or something to get him off that injury prone. Being injury prone does not stop you from, being a top 10 player in the league. You still, with your ability, what AD can do, that would still be a fair trade. And then you got the 2 picks for the OKC Thunder. But that's all I gotta say about that. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think I'm crazy for this trade? Do y'all think that this will be an even trade? Do y'all think that OKC would do this trade? Because SGA, again, he's a good, solid player, but is he a top 10 point guard? So it's not like you're trading for a Ja Morant or Trae Young or, I don't know, Luka Doncic or Steph Curry. Like, those guys are on a different level. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's on that level with DeJounte Murray, De'Aaron Fox, guys like that. And when he has his own team, you see what he is right now with OKC. They're on the bottom of the barrel. So again, how much does he really move the needle to the point where he's untradeable? But that's all I gotta say about that. Continue to pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. I like swim well.